Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Friday night, August 30th, and it is time for the Ghost Files Live with me, Vincente. It's good to see everybody in the chat. I see you guys filling in very quickly. I'm going to do a little housekeeping while we're sitting here, throwing on that little logo, change the background up a little bit, get ready for a little presentation. We're going to have a fun one tonight. It's been a pretty good week. I hope everyone else has had a good week. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, like this video, like all the other videos, watch all the other Ghost Files, and have a lot of fun. Undead is probably somewhere in that chat somewhere moderating. If he's not, maybe he's taking the week off. I haven't seen him just yet. Oh, there he is. And there's Undead. Everybody say hello to Undead. He's out there taking care of you. If you have questions or anything like that, he is going to be the guy for you. So tonight is a very special episode of the Ghost Files. We're going to talk about the upcoming home video campaign for Never Hike Alone, the final cut. I spent the entire last weekend and through this week getting it ready for you all to launch on Friday, September 13th. It's going to launch on Kickstarter versus Indiegogo. I think that anyone who has been following us for the last few years knows that I think we've run around 16 different campaigns in different ways of form in Indiegogo. And over that time, I've gotten some complaints from backers, along the way. There were people who couldn't, get their charges through, and just other little things that Indiegogo has kind of shown over the years, where Kickstarter has really been taking off with film. I've been in touch with the people who run Kickstarter film, and they're very excited about genre entertainment and pushing the genre space. Had a chance to talk to Andrew Bowser, who did Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls, who had a very good campaign. Obviously, everybody knows that Chris Stuckman did, I think, $1.4 million for Shelby Oaks. So the list keeps going on, and they push a lot of great material over there. And we obviously ran the first Never Hike Alone campaign on Kickstarter that ended up falling through. Our second one made it. We made about $20,000, which is pretty nice. But we're coming back with Never Hike Alone, the final cut, which I'll get a little bit into in a little bit. But there's some other stuff that I have to address first before I even get into some of the comments over Mia. One thing I do have to do, and we'll have to do at some point during this video, is add a little link to the description of this video that will allow you to check out what will be called a pre-launch page for that. So I will get to that in a little bit. But the first thing I want to address, just really quickly, there's a bunch of screenings coming up in the next few months for Never Hike Alone. And I just want to remind everybody before I forget. First one, Colorado Festival of Horror. Anyone in the Denver area or greater Colorado or greater West Colorado, Rocky West. I'm going to be there with James Sweet, my good buddy from Jason Rising. We're going to be watching Jason Rising, The Ghost Cut, and Never Hike Alone 2 that weekend. Also joining us, Tom Matthews, Tom McLaughlin, and just announced this week, Adrian King and Amy Steele. This is going to be a great Friday the 13th weekend in September. My good friends Becky and Brad from the Telluride Horror Show are going to drop by, but they're also doing Friday night trivia, which you can learn more about if you guys follow them, Telluride Horror Show. They're going to be doing stuff in Denver, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to try and get some prizes out to them for anyone attending that, and then coming over to Colorado Festival of Horror to hang out with us that weekend. I will be in Ghost Jason costume, so I'll be taking photos in Ghost Jason costume with Tom and Tom. And maybe other people jumping in too. I don't know how that's going to go. Brett, the guy running it, is sort of feeding me information as we go. I'm going to show up with costume. I'm going to show up with a bunch of merch. We're going to have a great weekend. We're going to watch some movies. It's going to be cool. Never Hike Alone 2 is also screening at Horror Hound Film Festival on Friday night at 10 p.m. after the Jason cosplay contest. So if you're in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, for Horror Hound Mass Fest this year, definitely check out Never Hike Alone 2 screening that night. Adam and Callie from Never Hike Alone 2, Gino and Jamie, the couple in the tent, they are going to be attending. Definitely check them out. Adam has his own booth called Adam's Art Box. He did the artwork for the Never Hike Alone soundtrack. Allie, I know I still owe you a soundtrack. I'm going to send it out this weekend. And so that's going to be a great event. I know they're going to do a good job over there. You're going to get to see Never Hike Alone on the big screen. That's going to be great. Never Hike Alone 2 is also playing Crypticon Minneapolis. We were also just asked to participate in and I'm going to get more details and I'll probably talk about it next week, We're going to be screening in Taylor County, West Virginia. We just got hit up by the Taylor County Arts Festival, and they want to play Never Hike Alone on Friday the 13th. So that's going to be really cool. And there's a few other people that have reached out to me as well. There's going to be different Friday the 13th screenings that are including Never Hike Alone. So we definitely want to get you all that information. I'm going to try and include that in any backer updates. So if you have backed any of the Indiegogos before, you will get an update either this weekend or next weekend with all of that info about if there's a screening near you, you will be able to find it. Also, before I step into our new campaign, I also want to discuss our old campaign because I know backers are wondering, where is my shit? And I get it. So I have a lot of good news. Without diving too much into people's business, I prepped everything for the Never Hike Alone fixes a few months ago. Like, there were fixed credits. We had to do some stuff with missing persons posters, which are hanging up for my Kickstarter video, which I hung up. And so we were doing all those fixes, and those things have been done. Now they have, but as I was waiting for these things to get done, the people who work for me in the post-production, or work with me in post-production, really, they get booked for really big shows. They're very, very busy. They can't really get to things. There's also some other things going on that I don't want to get into. I don't want to, spill anybody's personal business, but it was just one of those things where I said, take your time, take what you need. I got other things to work on. We'll loop back around when the time is right. The time never really became right, and we started running out of time. So I reached out to another friend who was working on another big project that they just wrapped up, and they had some time. So they have completed the fixes for Never Hike Alone 2. The file is not done and sent to me, but the fixes have been done. And so I'm getting the output settings and everything that we need to do. I need to vet the file that's coming over, take a look at it, make sure everything's fixed. That's going to happen throughout the weekend and into next week. Once I get that file, I can build my package to send off to disc makers to get the products made. I can send our discs to go get printed and all of those things. So the hope is we're going to send this material out first or second week of September. There is a 4 to 6 week turnaround, depending on different things that are going to happen. We may get some things out a little bit earlier, like our legacy Blu-rays that have already been developed. Those are going to go out. They're going to just replicate those discs, and we're going to get going. The Never Hike Alone 2 disc needs just a little bit more work because I needed this file, and I'm working on the background and stuff like that. And it's sort of been on the list of things to do, but that is my goal for next week, to get that and all submitted. Once that get turned around, we will be in the middle of the Final Cut campaign. So I'm going to probably receive these Blu-rays sometime in mid-October, and we're going to start shipping. Now, we're still waiting for masks. We're still waiting for some weapons. We're still waiting for some Ghost Jason dolls and other little things that are all being ordered. So I'm sort of stepping through all of the stuff now that I know the Kickstarters are coming, to start plenishing our supplies of the things that we need and the things that we needed to add on to of what we had at the original, beginning of the campaign. We finished with a lot more than what we ordered originally, obviously. So I got to make up for some of those numbers and get ahead of that. And it's all just sort of going to happen at the same time. Setting up shop at a warehouse that my dad owns. So we're going to be able to spread everything out, and we're going to be spending multiple weekends just going through all of your stuff and getting everybody shipped out. And as things land, we'll let you know. We'll send you an email. You get a tracking number, and your stuff should land within a few more days after that. So I'm really excited about that. I definitely didn't want to launch a new campaign without having answers to that. So my original hope was I wanted to launch the Final Cut campaign in like June, July. And because we knew we weren't going to have the pieces in place, I didn't want to push the issue and then have that conflict of like, well, where's my other shit, man? And I know you guys would have understood and do those things, but I do believe in sort of finish what you start and then you go. But we're running out of time for the rest of the year. There's some really good campaigns coming up later this year that I didn't want to interfere with. Like the Rip to Shreds campaign that's going to be launching on October 1st, which I'm in full support of, which is also on Kickstarter. So we're definitely going to do some marketing between those two projects for us. But the idea right now is that the Final Cut campaign is going to run from September 13th all the way through Halloween. So that's a 6-week campaign. The goal is going to be $50,000 because we have a lot of work to do on Never Hike Alone, the Final Cut. This is going through a brand new pass of everything in post-production. So it's getting recut all in one program. It's getting all the sound is getting pulled and redone. And so we're going to save money in some places because some of the work has been done already, but it's going to be the linking things back up. It's going to be building the new project, which is going to be most of the work. And depending on how much extra money that we raise, we may want to do some extra things like add a little bit more orchestral elements to the score and kind of build it up and really kind of give the project the post-production schedule it never had before and the post-production budget that it never had before, because we really start running out of money in the campaigns, and post-production, like, God bless them, they take, take minimal rates, and they work fast deadlines, but I'd like to see what they can do. Really working through it. We're aiming for a delivery of March 2025, but the next Friday the 13th is June 13th, 2025, which is Jason's birthday. So that might be another good kind of aim for us to have the final product really ready to go. And just take our time with it and make sure that it goes through the paces and do like a big premiere of it then. So that might be sort of the ideal like that. And what tonight is a special episode in which I want to lead you all through the actual campaign. The campaign is built. I'm going to do a screen share in a little bit. I'm going to show you what the campaign looks like. We're going to take a look at the perks tonight. I want you to give me feedback on the perks, and let me know if you see that what you want there, and if there's anything from previous campaigns or other ideas that you might have. You can either put it in the chat, but I would say the best thing to do is email me at wompstompfilms@gmail.com. Undead, if you wouldn't mind putting that in the chat. And I believe it's in the description of the thing too. And if it's not, I'll kind of mess with that in a little bit. But I want to take suggestions before this thing goes live. And even though if something's not implemented on day one, it may be part of the strategy to say, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll launch that during week 3 or week 4 when things start to lull. We'll launch a new package. One thing I like about Kickstarter is that when you register to get your prizes when you get your rewards, when you pick a tier, what's nice about Kickstarter versus Indiegogo is that you're going to log on, you're going to create an account, and then you're going to select what you want. You're not charged right away. So if the campaign is moving on and you want to change your backing, you want to get more stuff, something else released, and you want to add on, or you want a secret perk, or you want something else, you can change it all the way up until the final day of the campaign, which will be on Halloween. And then after that, that's when your pledge locks in. And then we send you a survey, and then that tells you, oh, I got an extra large shirt. I'm getting, this version of posters. Cause for example, right now we have one version of the poster up. We may release other posters throughout the campaign. If that happens, if you've purchased the poster perk, when you get your, survey at the end of the campaign, all of the posters that we release throughout the campaign are going to be available in that survey. So you don't have to try to switch things around. I think that's one thing where Indiegogo really hurt themselves, was that they didn't come up with a cart system. And I feel like Kickstarter has a little bit more of a cart system that's going to work for you all. That way you can really custom build this thing by the time you get to the end of the campaign. Let's say we release new pins, which is probably going to happen. Anthony had a great idea that we should do a pin basically that looks like this, kind of, what I mean? Maybe with the thing in it, because this is Kaiden Ritchie's thing. It broke because my dog bit it. But we can also print these masks, by the way. These are not on the campaign right now. I got to talk to Cody Wilkins before these go on, but these will be available. Little keychains, obviously. Masks aren't on the campaign right now. I can warn you now, though they might become available, but I've already put Jeremy through so much work for the previous campaign. I don't want to throw anything on him just yet. Before I jump in, I'm just going to flip through the comments real quick and just say hey to people, saying what's up to Lamontre stopped in, Darwinski stopped in, Anthony's here taking his pants off, Dr. Functional's in, Alley Girl here defending me on Twitter today, Robert the Wolfman's here, Sam Hain, what's up, my man? Cheesy Corn Pop, I like that. Cheesy Corn Pop, look at that icon. Got the back-to-back homies. Mitch, as always, in the thing. Steve DMV is here. Who else do I got? Oh, Moy's in. Tyler's here. Max is here. Kaiden, hey, what's up, man? You still using my hawk? Yeah, man, it's right here. I got to bring this to Colorado. I got to wear it. And I still have your broken hawk right here. I'm sorry, buddy. But I will get those things back to you. I think that's about everybody. Obviously, Undead is here. Boom. Anybody else? I miss him. Zach's here. Ooh, look at this. Gap After Dark. Hello, hello. Mr. Venom. Hey, just showed up. What's up? Look at that little Venom. Little Venom icon. I love it. Yeah. Oh, you know what else I have here, Kaiden? He likes that stuff. Look. Kaiden's Ghost Jason. He just finished a bunch of these today for backers. This is a Freddy versus Jason repaint of now it looks like Ghost Jason, which is pretty rad. I can't focus on that because it's focusing on my face. But Kaiden does really good work. He works with Cody Wilkins, and they do all that stuff. So lots of stuff to look forward to. A lot of these like fun things aren't on the campaign yet. We may add that as we go. I just needed to build the base. So here we go. We're going to do a little magic. I do that. I present. Let's see. I believe I do this. Share. And there it is. Look at that. Let's get right up to the top. So we're going to have a 48-day campaign. So it's going to start on the 13th. It's going to go all the way to October 31st. Our goal is $50,000, as we said. I'm going to send out a link on Monday. In fact, I'm going to put it in the base of this video tonight before we get off. I will not forget. What I'm basically going to do, and you guys can watch me do it, is I'm going to put a link that's going to take you to a link. It's a pre-launch page, and it will remind you to like basically sign up now. And then when we launch, you'll get an indicator that we're launching. Also, we're launching Friday the 13th, but we're actually launching Thursday the 12th because we're going to launch at midnight on Thursday, turning into Friday. And as soon as it turns Friday the 13th on the East Coast, this will go live. And that's your time to get in early and get your perks first and sign up first. So let's take a look at everything. Worked on this graphic this week. You know, you guys kind of saw that. I put that on Twitter. You know, Wompstomp Films is excited to welcome you to the Kickstarter home video crowdfunding campaign for Never Hike Alone, the final cut. As always, we're going to offer a virtual camper perk. This is very simple. There's 5 movies you're getting now with all that, you know, all that stuff. I know you guys have gotten virtual stuff in the past, but this is mostly for new people who don't want to know, or people who want to get a virtual thing and then add on and build their own packages. This is a good place to start. We're also going to be, you know, we're going to start early on Ghost in the Fog, which is a stretch goal for this campaign. And all of the special thank you credits are going towards Ghost in the Fog. So we're doing that. Obviously, we got like our film synopsis. I built this cool graphic which just basically tells the story of all 3 films. Obviously, Never Hike Alone, the final cut is all 3 Never Hike Alone films cut together. Never Hike in the Snow, Never Hike Alone, and Never Hike Alone 2. Disappear will be incorporated, but not like the Ghost cut. This isn't an anthology cut. This is a cut that is going to be interwoven in time. It may start with Never Hike in the Snow because that's when it starts, but it may also start with Never Hike Alone. We're trying to talk about a way to sort of have a flashback sequence that will take us through Never Hike in the Snow that brings us back in. I don't know if you guys saw Zack Snyder's The Watchmen, but he has like the Tales of the Black Freighter. We may sort of drop Never Hike in the Snow to tell the story throughout the entire film, but it may make sense just to start off with it. But Disappear, right now, the aim is we're going to recut it into a title sequence. So instead of doing our opening flyover title sequences that we normally do, Never Hike Alone, Disappear is going to become part of a narrated opening with everyone's credits. Some scenes may get cut out of the movie. There may be shots that we use from previous drafts of the film that didn't get put in their final cuts respectively within those films, but we may select different shots. This is going to be a completely new revamped cut. Mike Appy will be recutting it again and going from there. So, you know, next up on our perk list over here, we have Legacy Blu-rays. Obviously, this is for people who missed out. They want to start here. They want to build a Legacy Blu-ray. There's something on there. All of them will be, you know, all of the Blu-rays will be available, including Never Hike Alone 2. I may change the cover for Never Hike Alone 2. I may do another cover that is a little bit more unique. I may do the hospital cover to actually make it cover 2, which I think would be pretty cool. This is pretty rad. You can't really see it, but this is the merit badge. This is going to be, actually, I can kind of show you the rewards there, but this is going to be our pin for it. This design is based on our Ghost in the Fog Jason. So the guys at Mako Animation designed this. We're going to work with Creative Terror Pins once again to do our pins. As we add more pins to the campaign throughout the campaign, you may be able to select other things. Like if we do the mask with the broken pieces and all the listings, that will come there. Obviously, you guys know our main cast and you know a little bit about our story. You know, which is us making the films and over the years and being a fan of Friday the 13th, just a little bit of background on us. And if anyone wants to build, you know, a crowdfunding campaign, this would be a good episode to show your friend, or if you want to build it, looking at the construction of it. I mean, basically what you're looking at here is, you know, your introduction, you know, what is your film about? who's in your film, because obviously that's important. You're billing your cast there. And then what's your story? What brought this forward? You know, our story begins with the love and passion that developed growing up as fans of Jason Voorhees and the Friday the 13th franchise. The admiration for that franchise led myself, Vincent DeSanti, to move to Los Angeles in 2008, dreaming of working on a new franchise installment. After 8 years of multiple false starts by official productions, Vincent and his friends were inspired to make their Friday the 13th fan film after discovering an abandoned camp in the middle of the San Bernardino National Forest. This is where the Womp Stomp Film Teams was born. And basically we just said, you know, 2017, we do Never Hike Alone, 2020, Never Hike in the Snow, and 2023, we obviously finished Never Hike Alone 2 last year. It just kind of breaks down sort of how we got to this moment. You know, now we're over here, Art Camp, as you can see, this is your posters. So if you just want to get a poster, Art Camp is here. Any poster we release throughout the duration of the campaign. So the Art Camp perk, as we add more posters, may get swapped out. So the old one will get swapped out, and all of a sudden you'll see 2 posters in there, and then you'll see 3 posters in there. If you backed it at the beginning of the campaign and there was only 1 poster showing right now, you will still be eligible for all 3 posters. And obviously right here, this is one of my favorite slides. This incredible journey was all made possible through the power of crowdfunding, and horror fans worldwide helped our team raise over $500,000 to complete a lifelong dream for myself and fill the void for Jason Voorhees fanatics craving Friday the 13th related content. So, I mean, these are backers just like you who helped making this happen, who showed up to the first ever Telluride screening, which is really, really cool. The Final Cut Blu-ray. This is why we're all here, right? I finally figured out how to find colored cases. So we're going to do black cases for this. The idea is that this case, I'm going to study what was done for, hang on a second, your buddy. You guys know this thing, right? You know how they have all the there? Oh, so I guess it's clear cases. So whatever this is, I'm going to try and match this. So you can take this Blu-ray and slip it right in. Obviously, see, I already caught a mistake. Let's just pretend that's a clear case. I want to get you a clear case that's going to fit in there seamlessly with everything else. You can always swap out another Blu-ray and all that stuff. We're also going to do the VHS, right? So that's going to be, once again, available through Tapeworm Video. We'll have this beautiful artwork, by the way. I got to shout out Josh Beamish is the artist. He's a UK-based artist. Fantastic. I love this thing. It's going to look great on a shirt, which... Did I scroll by the shirt? Oh, I think I just got to put the shirt up there. So I'll put the shirt up in a little bit. That's for Allie. I know she wants one of those on a solo, but there's also the camper pack. So, but before I get there, we have the Final Cut VHS. We have the Scout pack, which if you want the Blu-ray and the VHS, you can do this. There's the camper pack, which is our typical camper pack of Blu-ray, the shirt, a poster, a pin, and the downloads. So that's, and at $100, this is going to be a steal this time. We really wanted to make this affordable. We think that this is going to move really, really well. So this is something that I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards. This is going to give you the poster, the pin, the Blu-ray, and the thing. If you want to up it and get a little VHS in there, that's your survival pack. The Camp Collector, that's what I think a lot of people are also going to be going for, is the entire box set. Whatever we do the box set, and we do all of this art, I may be changing the art on each of the discs so it creates one big sort of fell swoop, sort of like the Never Hike Alone thing. So that may be how I end up doing this in the end. But for now, if you missed out on previous campaigns and you want the entire collection, all 5 discs, including the Ghost Cut and Final Cut, you know, that's going to set you, that's 150, which is a pretty good range for that. For a Stranger is going to be is going to be the basically the survival pack, but you're adding so you're adding the VHS tape. You're also eligible to do a commentary track. So there's going to be 10 of these. We're going to do 2 commentary tracks. That way, commentary for people who back it is going to be 5 and 5, which is a nice even break. Or say we get 8 people, it will be 4 and 4. That way, everyone gets a chance to talk and everyone else has a chance to say their piece. The one that we did for Never Hike Alone 2 went very, very well. I'm going to be putting that on the disc this weekend. Everyone did a great job on that. Shout out if you've heard that perk before. This is your chance to get on the Blu-ray, which is really, really cool. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Associate producer, which is called the Junior Counselor. Everyone starting at Junior Counselor is going to get a missing persons poster that is going to appear in Ghosts in the Fog. So there's a billboard in Ghosts in the Fog that has a bunch of missing person posters on it. So the associate producers are going to go around the outer ring because there's more spaces. And then Junior Counselor Plus Well, you're going to get all that. And you're also going to get Rick Cologne's prop head, which we're including in the Junior Plus. And there's only one available of the Junior Plus. Camp Counselor is co-producer, and this is for Ghost in the Fog. It's all of those things immersed in person posters, but you're going to be a little bit bigger, and you're going to be on the inner ring of this billboard. Camp Counselor Plus is all those things, and it is the decapitation prop from Never Hike Alone 2 that you will add to this perk. Head Counselor is a producer for for Ghost in the Fog. It also includes a missing person poster. These are going to be the ones that are front and center. Like when we start on them, we're starting on the main characters, and you're going to be right outside the main characters. And then Head Counselor Plus is going to be all of that, plus the lake bed ghost Jason from Never Hike Alone 2 that you'll be able to bring home. So you're getting all of these things all in one fell swoop. And the last thing that we have available is the Camp Director, where we have 2 character designs left, a male and a female. And if you select this perk, we're going to redesign that character so it looks like you, and which is a pretty cool thing. So you'll be in the film and you will get killed by Jason Voorhees. Spoiler alert. So that's basically the perk side of it. You know, kind of going back through here, going back over it. Our goal is $50,000. This is going to be spread throughout physical media production, editing, sound, music, VFX, color, output, obviously the shipping and handling, and then there's platform fees. So all of those things have to be paid. And I think I'm going to have to pay a little bit of taxes too. So we're just being generous here to make sure that this goal will cover all of it. And it's all or nothing, people. So there is no like we raise 20 grand and we try to force this thing through. If we raise 20 grand, we can't afford to do this. We really have to raise $50,000 or else I'm not going to be able to pay all the departments. I'm not going to be able to afford all the perks, and I'm not going to be able to ship it. So this is going to be level 1. Level 2 of this stretch goal is going to be Ghost in the Fog, which is the thing I'm pretty much most excited to talk about tonight. Moy, shout out to you and Mako Animation. This is going to be a stretch goal of $100,000. So again, it's just like another campaign. And this is one of the reasons why I extended the campaign out 48 days to give this a little bit more time to cook. So you guys will push towards this. Now, if we hit $50,000, we're going forward and we're making that disc. Whatever we make over that, Mako Animation is going to be able to take portions of that and animate pieces of the movie. And whatever we can animate, we'll get up to that point, and then we'll include that on the disc. And if we don't hit this goal, we'll run another campaign to hopefully hit this goal down the line. But I am pretty confident that you guys will rally behind this because they have done an amazing job redesigning all of these characters. In fact, I'm going to be updating a lot of these images this weekend. Juan sent me some 3D renderings of the environments that have come out, but this is some of our concept work. You can see the new Jason, our new characters. This is Bree. This is Brandon, who's actually the reason why there aren't 3 characters is because Brandon, one of our backers from the Never Hike Alone 2 campaign, actually already backed this and already has his character in the film. And then this is Dom. You see some of the technical work here, some of the stuff going on. This is going to be, I mean, it's going to be really, really cool to see Jason and what's it called, in animation. And I think you guys are going to love it. Here's a little bit of a closer look at our perks. You can get a better look at these cool things. Obviously, we're going to do original like we usually do, the retro color, which we always do. And this one's going to be silver screen. I'm going to talk to Creative Terrapins about if we do the silver screen one, we may make this mask like pewter silver so it's shiny, which might be pretty cool. Maybe we'll do a gold one too. Maybe we throw that in down the line. Getting a little bit look, here's what it looks like if we do a blue case. I might have to change this weekend and fix that. Obviously the VHS, the t-shirt's looking sweet. Definitely going to want to check that out. I'm definitely going to have to up the it's going to cost a little bit more to print this one. And I think when I do it, it's not going to say Never Hike Alone, the final cut. It's just going to say Never Hike Alone, because the thing I love about this graphic is that it really encapsulates the whole series. But this is Never Hike Alone in one thing. So we won't put final cut on the shirt. We'll just put Never Hike Alone, and you'll understand everything that's kind of going on here. What else do we got going on? Obviously, our campaign for a cause. If we end up raising so much money, we're $250,000, $300,000, and I don't know what to do with this. We're going to donate to the Penny Pines Reforestation Program to do that. Another, if we start soaring past 100 grand, or we start getting close to that, where there are more perks that I will add to this, and there are more stretch goals that I will add to this, but they have to be realistic. $150,000. I'm going to talk to some people, and we'll get this figured out by the time we get that close. But if we get to 100, I have a feeling that if we get to 150, we're going to be able to add a scene into this cut with a brand new scene that's never been seen before. And it would include the entire cast of Dead Meat. That's James, Rebecca, that's Meg, and that's Zoran, all in the production with one other actor. They're going to be campers who get attacked by Jason. And so instead of Never Hike Alone 2, when you see the scene where Jason just walks by camera and the truck goes the other way, that's going to be him walking into an RV park. And we're going to do a whole RV massacre scene. So with the Dead Meat crew, which would be $150,000. One of the other things I want to do if we raise more money is turn the Final Cut package into a 2-disc set. So on disc 1, that would be the Final Cut, special features, all of that. On disc 2, it would be remastered versions of all the previous films on one disc that you can just reference to. So if you wanted to watch just the normal Disappear music video, you can watch that. If you just want to watch Never Hike Alone as it was originally intended to be seen, with maybe a little bit of maybe a couple of fixes in it, that's something that we'll look at if we get to like $175,000 to $200,000. So anytime this campaign raises more than our goal, it's going right back into the product, and it's going right back to you. This is your ability to fund what you want out of this franchise and what you want to keep as your home video collection, because this very well could be your last chance ever to own all of this stuff and our last chance to touch it, because it's no guarantee that we're coming back for Never Hike Alone 3. We may visit that down the road, but right now there are a lot of original projects lined up on our avenue that we're trying to get done, and that's going to take some time. And once we're done with this, we're going to step away from Never Hike Alone for at least a year, maybe 2. So if you haven't ordered anything yet, or if you're wanting to order stuff, you're definitely going to want to jump in on this one. This is your final chance. And then we really got to put this to bed. And then hopefully by then the franchise is coming out with material. Jason's birthday is coming up next year, like I said. So that's a very good aim for them. And hopefully they make it, because I am rooting for, the campaign itself. So obviously you're seeing the rewards here, campaign for a cause, contacting us. This is, what you need right here. Then we have our fan films, are they legal stuff, and that's kind of all the fun stuff. But this is this is basically the entire campaign. So what can I do? Oh, that's right, because this is not my actual account, because I actually signed into my other Google. So I am going to leave this up for a little bit. We're going to leave it right here. Yes, Anthony. Wow, I left Kaiden up the whole time. Sorry, Kaiden. Sorry everybody for maybe blocking some stuff. Yes, like a werewolf project, but there's other projects too that are on the way. So yes, Tyler, we're going to go out and get some CG done, maybe some map paintings. Boom, everybody's here. Hey, Slaughtered Lamb Cat podcast is here. Darren's here. Nice. So I mean, that's basically just a nice rundown of the entire campaign. I'm here for suggestions. I'm here for, what do you want to see on the campaign? Obviously, like, masks are going to come up. We're going to think about doing some mini masks like you see behind me. We may do more of these guys, which are really, really fun. We can get Kaiden doing some other things too. We can get signage done. We can add all that stuff, but we really want to keep it simple, so that way we can really, ship stuff to you guys super simple. Let's see. Vinny, for a perk, I want to see you dress up as Axel from part 4, get a hot woman and reenact the morgue scene. That'd be funny seeing you jump up and yell, "Holy Jesus Christmas shit." Yeah, I mean, maybe we can add that as I might be able to do that with James Sweet. In fact, James Sweet is going to be joining me next week on this podcast as my guest, because we're going to hype up the Colorado Festival of Horror and talk about some potential news coming up soon. I know James is working on a little secret project, and I've heard some rumblings of Jason Rising 2 in the works. So with Amy and Adrian going to Colorado Festival of Horror, we're definitely going to have to talk to them about the possibility of kind of doing that. So I'm going to scroll back a little bit. Obviously, if you want your question to the top of the line, make sure you ask a super question. I think while I'm here, I'm going to do a little bit of work. Let me see. I thought I had where it is. Okay. So if you don't mind me, I'm on another screen right now. I'm in the exit preview. And I need to go to my project overview. And I'm not ready to launch, but what I am ready to do is get my project URL. And I'm going to take this project URL. I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. And when I hit it into here, this new file is going to come up. Bam. So here we go. I fixed it. So now that's there. And now we're also going to go into my YouTube studio. I'm going to go into this, the guts of this live stream as we're doing it right now. You guys don't see what I'm doing. No, that's not what I want to click on. Go to live now in this thing. You can go to those before. Sign up to, not sing, sign up to be notified of the launch. Boom. Save. So if you go into the body of this, if you reload this video, you're probably going to get an ad. I am sorry. I'm sorry. But if you go into the body of this video now, you'll be able to go to this page. You'll be able to select notify me on launch. You will sign up. Don't look at that. You will sign up for a Kickstarter account and you will be notified. Look at this. I already got 11 followers. That's great. And you will be notified of this. So this is going to be, this is going to be a lot of fun. Definitely line up for this again, Thursday, midnight, Friday, September 12th. You're going to be able to get in here because that's the first start of Friday the 13th Eastern Standard Time. I will be in Colorado. So I will be out there around 10 o'clock. I will be launching this thing. So that way it goes live. It's going to be great. You guys are going to have fun. And I'm really looking forward to you guys having a good, a fun campaign and, being able to just enjoy these perks and bring stuff home and help support the brand. And everything that happens here is going to help support the Womp Stomp Films team. It's going to put some people to work. It's going to keep us busy. The industry is just really slow right now. I know a lot of people are struggling. My team's doing pretty good, but I'd like to give them a few weeks of work, or at least a few weekends of work that are really going to, I think put together something special. So let's see. Oh, here we go. I got a nice little question here. Not sure if it would be possible, but for a perk, have you ever thought of having slip covers made for the Blu-rays with maybe some alternate artwork? My friend, Chuck, we did do that. In fact, I think if I do a little bit of this, let me never hike alone to Indiegogo. Boing. Now, I believe if I go in here and I do that, this is going to change, right? Yeah, there it is. So continue reading. So in the last campaign, I took them all away. I'm a ding ding. Anyway, then we're going to go back to here. So yes, we can do that. We can do that. I can add that there. We did additional slip covers for everything too. So we already have those designs. In fact, this week is part of me going back in and kicking the tires on those to make sure they're ready for our next campaign. Or from the previous campaign. And so I'll just duplicate that perk. We'll put those up. You guys can order those too. And I think when I end up ordering this batch that I'm going to be getting for this campaign, I'm going to get a bunch of extras. So they'll be in stock by the time the campaign's already done. So that's going to be really great for everybody. Chuck, thank you for that super chat. That makes things really nice. Momo's in the chat. She's got a beak. She's sharing it with the world. Thank you, Momo, for that chicken beak that you shared with everybody. Vinny's kind of late, having PC issues again. I'm late. What am I late doing? Let me see. Adobe Voorhees taking out the other Photoshop competition. Funny but cool name. That's funny. I can barely sing. Let me see. How about Ghost Jason and Pamela severed head necklaces? You know what? We can 3D print Pamela's head. So in this campaign, I may be able to do one of those like pluses. So maybe the VIP plus or like the Forest Ranger. Maybe another version of the Forest Ranger isn't so much, or maybe the producer perk, becomes that because it's going to be expensive to make those, but we'll be able to do that. Dead by Daylight times Never Hike Alone. Wouldn't that be nice? I will say this. There is a game in the works, a Never Hike Alone game. And in fact, I'm going to do a little thing right now. Where am I at? This music, hang on. This is actually music to Never Hike Alone video game that's being created right now. We may run a Kickstarter for it next year. Now, unlike some of the things you saw kind of come out. Let me turn this way down. Excuse me. Some of the things you saw come out about, like, you know, the revamped game that they were doing, Friday the 13th game. This isn't that. What it is sort of a throwback to this. And it is a NES style side-scrolling game called Never Hike Alone, which is going to follow an original story. It's not going to have anything to do with Friday the 13th. It's going to be made so it's just us. And Kyle's a character. Hikerman 5000 is a character. We're going to be making other characters. We may create other characters based on people backing the campaign. If this does really well, maybe we'll add it to this campaign. But we're basically going to create something called Womp Stomp Games. That is going to be a subsidiary of Wompstomp LLC. We're going to be on Steam. We're going to be on the Apple Store. It's going to be something, it's going to be a mobile game you can play on your phone. It's going to be something you can play on your computer. And you're going to be able to, it's going to be very similar to playing the original Friday the 13th NES game, with its own original story, its own original goals, its own original missions, things to find. We're going to design it. But it's such a simple build that it allows us to do it for, you know, the creator, this guy, Robert Allison, who is just a video game designer and is doing it for the fun of it. And we're going to end up releasing it. We're going to make it super cheap. And I think everyone's really, really going to love that. I got comments pouring in. Let me see. Hi, Vin. If we have other something, can we just get a box set? Yes. So one of the other things I want to do, good reminding me, Greg. So one of the things I'm going to talk to our Blu-ray vendors is do they create box sets like this? Like, do they create the boxes? You know, can I do a 5-disc box? And so if I can, I will get those templates. I will see what the cost is, and I will make it its own perk, or I'll make it a part of that $150 perk where we'll add that in, and you'll be able to build your own box. We also want you to be able to slip your Never Hike Alone disc in. And if you notice, if you go through, there's Friday the 13th. Oh, let's go backwards. Why am I going weird? Okay, so Friday the 13th. Let me see. Why am I doing? Oh, here we go. So Friday the 13th, Friday 2, 3, final chapter, new beginning, Jason lives, part thing, Jason takes Manhattan, Never Hike Alone. And then Jason goes to L, Jason goes to X, Freddy versus Jason, and the collector's bonus material. There seems to be one missing. I don't know where that one went. But you can slip your Never Hike Alone disc in there after Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, and you'll complete the true Paramount trilogy for your own box set if you have it. So, Greg, that's a great idea. That's definitely something we're going to be looking into. But I just didn't want to jump into it right away because I had to get the rest of this built, and we need to get some prices for that stuff. Can you make the Womp Stomp theme song a ringtone as a digital perk? Yeah, we can put that in the digital perks for sure. Maybe we'll release little 30-second clips. I think you can add them in. I don't remember how to do it anymore, but we'll forget. Surprised I missed the slip covers in the last campaign, but I know they make a great comeback for the next one. Yeah, we'll definitely do it. It was towards the end, and they a lot of things slipped under the radar at the end. This is actually one of my favorite moments. The Friday the 13th series has always had some kind of awkward moments. The characters go through in each film. The top moment, Demon singing on that damn toilet. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. As you said, if you got a question you want to rock to the top, Undead One, send it in a super chat. This guy is like self-funding the channel. Love it. Love it. Greg, thank you for the super chat, the $2 super chat. It means all the world to me. Steve Demi saying, hey, Vin, what's up, Steve? What do you got? You got a question for me? Drop it right in the chat right below that. Let me see. Have I ever thought about talking to Ice Nine Kills about making a Never Hike Alone song for the final cut? They might be out of my price range. And I think I'd rather talk to the Black Dahlia murder than Ice Nine Kills, the Backstreet Boys of metal. Definitely more into the grindcore type stuff. Shout out to my neighbor with his cool little motorcycle. Why do we get commercial breaks? Seems like a couple of minutes on this live stream. Yeah, you know, I have to monetize it to get the thing, and so I don't know. I got to work on that. Honestly, I gotta work on the streams. I gotta figure out how to get those in check so they're not happening every 2 seconds. If you guys can just bear with me when that happens. I swear you won't miss much. It's just me rambling for the most part, and I repeat myself a lot. So if you miss 30 seconds, you're definitely going to get it reiterated some way. This week's episode brought to you by Celsius. Not that I'm sponsored by them, but I'd like to be. And now Evan Bucka, my DP, has me friggin' addicted to these things. And it's probably giving me all the energy I need to do this tonight. So sorry for the commercial breaks. Maybe I'll do my own commercial breaks in the thing. Anthony doesn't mind. I got to get that money. And the only other way is if I open an OnlyFans, and we're not doing that anytime soon. But something I haven't done, but I was thinking about doing, which I think some people out there might actually want this, is I have some set worn Never Hike Alone sweatshirts that I have worn on set. And I got too many of them because I basically, every time we do a campaign and I do sweatshirts, in fact, I should put sweatshirts on this campaign at some point too, and I will do that. But every time we sort of order new sweatshirts, I always get like a printed one for myself so I can make sure everything looks good. And then I end up wearing it on set. I may make those available, and we don't have to make those available through the campaign. If you want to email me at wompstompllc@gmail.com and offer me something for my sweatshirt, go ahead. We can definitely make that work. Let me see. Do it as Ghost. Yeah, that's all we need. He'll be stabbing victims for sure. Let me see. That's right. If you have a YouTube subscription, you don't have any ads. So just remember that. So sign up for YouTube so you don't have the ads. Let me see. And I think it's for free, really, isn't it? Let's see. Any other questions coming in? Because I'm just a one-man band over here trying to keep an eye on these things. Yes, Mr. Venom, Never Hike Alone, a PC video game, which is going to be a lot of fun. So again, oh, look, we already got 12 followers. This is great. People are starting to jump in. We're getting ahead of these things. If you don't mind, I think I'm going to return to the normal thing. Boom. Okay, so we can go back to that. In fact, you know what? I like it when it's like this. There we go. Oh, look at that. Nice. Got the nice border. Josh Bemis's background. So actually, let me see. Boop. If I do this background right here is actually the background. This is what the disc art is going to be. And if we do clear cases, this is going to be the inside of the case. So if this is a clear case when it opens, this is going to be what you see under the disc. So if there's two, this is why I wanted to do two discs. So if you have a disc on the right and the left that both match this art, they sit on top of this art with the Never Hike logos in them. I think that's going to be a dual disc is really my grand scheme with this. If we can raise $150,000, I think I can do that extra. I could do that extra scene. We could put the team, we could bring the band back together for one last hurrah. We can kill 5 people, add 5 deaths to the whole thing. And then we can, and get this dual disc made to make it look like it's a friggin' Criterion Collection, piece of art, because this is, the artwork is just friggin' great. In fact, I believe, bam, there's that. If I do this, yeah. So here's a little bit more work of the actual art itself. Now, one thing we did do, and somebody pointed this out on Twitter, which made me laugh my ass off. So this is old artwork that I shared, 5 or 6 Ghost Files ago. But if you look at the final cut, it actually looks like it says the anal cut in this rendition. So I just want to assure you this has been fixed. So here, if I go back to, if I do this and I do this, you can see here, they've separated the F and the I. Yeah, so we did fix that for those of you who are wondering and who did notice that it did look like it says anal cut, but the art up here really hasn't changed as far as, you got Jason, you have Pamela, Mark, Diana, Rick, Pamela underneath, which I think don't you think that design right there for Pamela's head with the candles, in my opinion, that makes a great pin because you get, and it looks like a chevron. I never noticed that before. I did that by accident, but it looks like a chevron. So I think that would make a cool upside down chevron pin with her laid in there with the candles. And I think that would be pretty rad. Coming up the other side, obviously you have Tom there with the shotgun. You have Kyle And then you have Horror Stevie playing young Tommy. And of course, our famous Moon that makes many just photo bombs, many shots in Never Hike Alone. We love shooting the Moon and Never Hike Alone. So that'd be really great. So, obviously everything is right out in front of us. You don't want to overload things at first, but this would be, we do. Question: would I ever do a stream as Ghost Jason? I have actually done a stream as Ghost Jason before. If you, anybody who's fans of the Merkins, go back and check out Freddie interviewing Ghost Jason. That is probably one of the best interviews I've ever done. We did a whole interview where I was holding up signs and writing to people, which was a lot of fun. And then we did a skit at the end that involved Tom Matthews. So definitely check that out. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, but no, I'm really, floored by this art. I think this is going to look great on a t-shirt. Like I said, Final Cut's not going to be on the t-shirt. It's just going to say Never Hike Alone. Curse Never Dies. You guys are going to be, if you guys walk around the con with one of these things on, you're going to be the belle of the ball. I promise you. Everyone's going to want it. And they're going to be like, where'd you get that? And you'd be like, I got it from the Kickstarter jerk. You better get on it. So one other thing too is Kickstarter has changed their rules that if you do hit your goal, you can stay open past campaign. There are post-campaign perks that you can get. So definitely, obviously do early, but again, like after the campaign's over, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're not going to keep adding things and trying things out to raise more money. Because the goal here is not just to get the Blu-rays made, it's to make Ghost in the Fog. And it's also to make, maybe more elements, making a double Blu-ray, all those different things. So as we get different tiers and go, we'll add those sections that say, hey, next stretch goal is $150,000. Here's how the money's going to break down. We're going to use, $30,000 of it to go shoot this scene. We're going to use another $20,000 to invest in new discs that need to get made. So that's like a few $1,000s to get that disc built. I'll want to send everybody in to go fix the other files so we can get those right. And, that all fun stuff. So that's definitely going to be really, really cool. So let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. There we go. Cool. So now we're just settling in. That's my spiel this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed your tour of Never Hike Alone, the Final Cut. If you guys can do me a favor now, one of the best things you can do is that now that this video is created and you know that you can get a link to sign up early, once you've signed up early, please, please, please share that link on your social media pages. We're going to be officially launching it on Monday, but basically you guys can get in early. You can start doing it now with the link that is in the bottom of this bottom of this video. If your friends have questions about it or they haven't seen our stuff before, send them a link to this video so they can watch the campaign and see it broken down before their eyes. And it's gonna do all that stuff. Emily is in the chat. What's up, Emily? No, we will not need the sweater. The sweater will not be needed. Pamela has been retired. She's done all she can do. The new scene would be there. But if you want to put it up for sale, someone wants to buy the sweater, we can talk something. We can put that up for you and help you out. Let me see. Gap's got the right idea. Definitely marking the calendar for September 3rd. Thank you. This is funny. I guess I got to take it. If Vince ever becomes a household name, then porn people might make the anal cut. That is very, very true. Yep. So we'll be doing, if anyone's ever got a shirt from, if everyone's ever got a shirt from the campaign, we do nice shirts. We go through two T-shirt pros in Culver City. We do a 60-40 cotton blend, which is really soft. This isn't those shitty Gildan shirts. You know what I mean? We don't fuck with that. That's bullshit. Like a Gildan shirt is a campaign runner's way of saying that they hate you and they never want you to wear their shirt, because the minute you put it on, you're going to be scratching yourself like you're fucking Tyrone Biggums waiting for a next shot of a crack in your eye. We like comfy shirts here at Womp Stomp Films. We want it to feel like you can bring that shirt anywhere. I wear my own shirts all the time because we pick the best materials that are better than what you buy in the store. And you get it with our cool logos on them too, which is really fun. Yep, Tyler knows what I'm talking about. Gildan is for shitty garage bands. That's exactly what it is. It's like, I'm not trying to, shit on anyone who can only afford that. But honestly, like, it's not that much more for the 60-40 shirts. And people will actually wear the shirt. And when people buy a shirt and you want them to promote your brand, you want them to actually wear the shirt, not like wear it once and then throw it at, Salvation Army, which is what happens to most shirts that I get that are Gildan. I'm sorry. If I've ordered a shirt from your campaign, you sent me a Gildan shirt, I may have worn it once or twice to show support, but once it starts chafing my nips, it's in the trash can. It's off to Savers. It's off to be someone else's household, and they're going to discover it through the art of sharing. And I will no longer be doing that. That's right. Oh, wait, Emily, you jumped in. Boom, boom. See, well, Emily, let's just say that she rocks hers all the time. The whole Gallows Lane crew, really, everyone over there is always rocking Never Hike Alone brand stuff. Always love the rep that you guys do. And then Allie will attest. She says her Womp Stomp shirt is very, very comfortable. She can attest she just bought one, so it's there. And then, like I said, Allie, I have your soundtracks over there. The boxes came in. I got to fold it up. I got to ship it. But we'll make sure that gets to you nice and neat, no breakage. And we'll go from there. I forgot to ask if you wanted a red or a smoke. So you can just email me or just message me sometime. Mitch, Vin's chape nips will appear in the anal cut. I'm going to put that at the end of the final cut. Vinny's chapped nips will return in the anal cut. It'll be very fun. We'll have you do the voiceover for it. I know you got those chops. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Emily. In fact, hey, I'm on your side of the world now. So Joe and I are trying to plan me coming out there at some point and doing some stuff. I got my guy right here. We'll definitely do some work with Gallows Lane at some point. It'll be fun. We'll kill some people in the woods. We'll go up to the scout camps. It'll be a good time. So we're coming around that time. It's been about an hour. That's been what I've been, we've been kind of landing here about an hour. It's been really nice. I'll kind of do one last little, maybe like right now it's 56:30 on my timer. When that thing gets to an hour, if I don't have any big, interesting questions that are going to take me 20 minutes to tell, then we're probably going to close it out. But again, while I'm waiting for a nice question to drop into the stream, or if anyone's got any other suggestions for the final cut, remember you can email me at wompstompfilms@gmail.com, or you can message me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Steve DMV, 3 Friday the 13th in 2026. I love that year. I love that year. The year that there's 3 Friday the 13th. I remember when that happened. In fact, the year that it was 3 Friday the 13th last, I believe, was 2016 or 2015. And that's what started the Never Hike Alone trend, was that I was like 3 Friday the 13th this year. Well, every Friday the 13th, I'm going to do something. And that built up to becoming Never Hike Alone. So I love the 3 Friday the 13th year. It's always my favorite year. Yeah, we get boxers or briefs. Briefs. I need them like tucked in. What can you tell us about ghost chicken? Ooh, ghost chicken. Hang on a second here. Ghost chicken. Ghost chicken is a story about a vegan restaurant that's haunted by the ghost of a chicken and the one girl determined to figure out why. This is an award-winning script that I wrote back in 2020 that's done its round around the festival circuit. I have it. It's been storyboarded. It's been cut. It's been recut. It's been re-storyboarded. And we have it basically 95% ready to go in editorial to be launched into animation. We have to go into production design. We have to do a bunch of stuff. Ghost Chicken will be one of our original projects that will launch in 2025. Hopefully in the spring of 2025 will be one of the first things that I want to get out of the gate. This is a project I'm super, super passionate about. I've been trying to beat this drum and get it ready for the last couple of years. Be working with Mako Animation on it. We need to get a good bid on it and figure out how much it's going to cost. And then we're going to have to raise that money. Most likely it's going to be around $75,000 to $100,000 to get that thing done, because animation is expensive. And this is about a 22-minute piece. So I'm really excited about it. It's really funny. It's a horror comedy. There are some good, fun, gross moments in it as well. So it does have the horror elements. It's very much like an episode of Daria. It's sort of got that sort of 2D look that we're going for. There's a little bit of an adventure, a little Scooby-Doo-ness, a little Nancy Drew. And, the lead characters are very funny. The side characters are very funny. The villain's very funny. And it's going to be a good time. So hopefully we'll get that going next year. And that would be a fun one. So that's a great question, Boy. Thank you for bringing that up. I definitely want to keep that on people's radar. That will be a future campaign for sure. As a mother of a child with sensory issues, I spent a lot of time avoiding clothing that chafes. Well, I have the shirt for you. Your child will be safe in a Never Hike Alone Final Cut or any Womp Stomp brand shirt. We'll bring those there. We can get some voices in there. In fact, there's a couple of voices that can be some wall of voices. So when we do a campaign for a future campaign, we may be able to get voices. There's a scene where there's a crowd sort of yelling out a bunch of things. So it'd be a great chance to get a little cameo voice in there, which would be a lot of fun. And we can literally just, you know, you can scream it into your phone at this point with a lot of the ways we've done it. And we've cut people into films. I mean, all of our voiceovers for our Friday the 13th alumni, 99% of them are done on an iPhone that they send into us. We remaster it and put them in and then put some effect on it anyway. Let me see. Any other questions come in? That's about it. That's about it. All right. We've hit our hour goal. It's been a good stream. It's been an informative stream. We've had a good time. I hope you have. I know I have. Mitch is hitting it up. See the beep. The beep says I gotta go. I don't know. Maybe my mic is editing that stuff out. I know I have a good mic now, thanks to Carl Winnery. But this is gonna be great. Ghost chicken dies tonight. You'll have to see the story about what happens to the ghost chicken and what the ghost chicken is and why it's there. It's fun. It's actually pretty heartfelt too, which is pretty nice. So thank you for stopping by. This has been the Ghost Files on Friday, August 30th. We have talked about Never Hike Alone, the final cut. I answered all your questions. If you have any further questions, you can email me at wompstompfilms@gmail.com. You can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't check TikTok. I also don't check that other thing that Instagram released to compete with Twitter and is somehow still there, Threads. I don't know what that's doing. Sometimes I post there by accident, but it's there. But definitely try to message me at the email. That is the best way to contact me ever. Everything else gets lost in the mix because I get messages all the time. I get tagged in things all the time. So a message that's at my top 1 minute slides down to like my 15th message. The next minute, I lose people. I lose conversations all the time. It's really frustrating. So there's that. Remember, Colorado Festival of Horror, Horror Hound, Crypticon Minneapolis, Taylor County, West Virginia, some other streams that are going to be happening around the company. The Unnamed Found Footage Festival in San Francisco, California is going to be doing a stream, I believe, on Twitch, which is going to be fun. We're going to stop in for Q&A on that and a few other things as well. Let me see. Anything else? But that's it. No. So yeah, this has been a great stream. I hope you guys are excited about Never Hike Alone, the final cut. Remember, please take the link that's in the comment, not the comments, but the info block below this video. Share that with your friends and family. Let's get as many people signed up for this campaign as possible. And let's get ready to celebrate Friday the 13th one last time. This launches on Friday the 13th, Thursday, midnight. Remember that. I think that's all the stuff. I hope everyone has a great night. Have a safe weekend. And until next time, I will see all of you on the trail.